Hey, good morning, Eastern Oregon, and welcome to this April 22nd version of AM Live on EOA. Your connection to Eastern Oregon. We are glad that you are here this morning on this Tuesday morning. Here in just a little bit, we are going to have Union County Commissioner Matt Scarfo with us. And you can always find all of our stuff at eoa.network. That takes you to a link tree where you can find the different places where our content is available. I'm glad that you're here with us today.
It's really a second Monday for you.
It is a second Monday.
Like coming in off a 3-day weekend.
Yeah, 3-day weekend. I was gone on Friday.
Oh,
too.
well, yeah,
4-day weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
Well,
So
doesn't get to happen very often, so may as well take advantage of it.
no, it doesn't, and it was really good. We went and saw Michaela and Chris over the weekend. It was actually kind of a dually. We have a friend that was celebrating her 65th birthday, and it was a surprise birthday party, so we went over for that. And they're only about 30 minutes from Michaela.
When I get your age, I'm not going to birthday parties.
You're not?
No, I don't want to be reminded how old by my friends how old I am.
Yeah. Well, the thing about
Like
this
65,
is that
like no, I'm not going.
When you get old, you got to have a birthday party because that's like the only joy about getting old.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
I don't need to be reminded.
Yeah, when I had my 60th, that's how I felt. It's like, man, we gotta pull the stops on a party because I need something to cheer me up.
But didn't it remind you that, man, damn, I'm 10 years down the hill?
A little.
I mean, if you think of the hill as 50, right?
No, we really don't need the metaphor. We don't need the description.
You're like down. You're on downhill skiing.
Yeah, if I had something to throw at you, I would. Yeah, yeah. No, I tell you, it is. I mean, you hear about me talking about this personally. It's like getting old is like it is the brutal. I have some choice words for it that just keeps coming. I mean, there is nothing you can do about it.
Nope.
So it's like, yeah, are you going to go down hating it, or are you going to go down embracing it? And I still haven't decided.
It's like one of the few things that everybody experiences. It doesn't matter if you got money. It doesn't matter if you're smart. It doesn't matter if you're super talented. You're going to get old.
It's funny because
it don't matter.
And then you see those people. Like I was listening to a podcast this morning, coming in. Gene Simmons, he's 75.
Yeah.
And he's like, he is busier. He's the guy from Kiss.
I know
you
who
know
he
who he
is.
is. I'm telling them. Yeah, it's like, yeah.
This...
So, I mean, he's 75, and he's starting things. He's busier. I mean, he's in a good place. I mean, he's got a name and money, and he can do anything that he wants.
That doesn't hurt.
Yeah,
right?
But still, he was driving himself, to this. He happened to be late to this podcast, and so he driving himself and stuff, and so. Yeah, so I mean, there are those people that just choose to like
embrace it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so, it's true. Anyhow, I don't know. I'm still working too hard to embrace it. Yeah, I don't have enough money. I guess that's the measure for me. It's like I don't have enough money to not work hard
to retire.
Yeah.
You get Social Security this year.
Oh, thank you.
Wait, is that this year?
Again, I'm not answering that question. You can start drawing.
A little while.
You can start drawing Social Security like at 62 or something like that.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
If you wait longer, do you get more?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I'll wait.
Yeah.
No way.
So, I mean, I think they want you to start drawing at like 67 now.
67?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought the retirement was like around 65.
Well,
they're just going to add 2 years on every 10 years.
Well,
like
and the
90.
reason they do that is to try and help balance the books a little bit. One is that people are healthier longer, and part of it is that if they can delay. Yeah, I mean, Social Security is in the hole and has been in the hole for a long time, and so by delaying it, they're spending.
I thought I read a thing that said the life expectancy for humans actually dropped a little bit in the like 4 or 5 years.
It probably
Like it
has.
actually like
It
got.
probably. I mean, you are like the internet guru of
I just
absorbing
Google
facts
a
out
lot
there,
of
yeah.
things.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
well, just the way we do what we do to ourselves.
Right.
I mean,
but when you compare our lifespan now to what it was 50 years ago, oh my goodness. Yeah.
it's longer or shorter,
Much longer.
is it?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the advancements in
Right. Yeah.
technology
but
and medicine.
I mean, if you look in like the frontier days,
Yeah,
I mean,
like 40, 50 years old.
yeah, somebody who lived
Dying
into
of
their
dysentery
somebody
on
who
the
lived
Oregon
into
Trail.
their 70s was like somebody who lives in their 90s now.
Could you imagine how long we would live if we actually like didn't trash our bodies and you know what I mean? Didn't chew tobacco and drink coffee and
Well, yeah, and you see some of those.
yeah, those are the people that are 100.
Right. But it's so funny. You also see those 100-year-old people, and they're like, yeah, I've been smoking the
3 packs of Pall
yeah.
Mall
It's like, what's the secret to life? The secret to life is
Yeah.
to keep drinking every day.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like, okay, that's not the formula.
Some
for a
people
lot
are
of
the
people.
great, the great question mark of how the heck does this happen, right?
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah,
Yep. All righty. We'll do sports.
let's do it.
All right.
AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit in LeGrand. With the good weather pretty much here, it's time to get down to Hobby Habit and check out their Frisbee golf selection. They just stocked it up for spring, 411 First Street in LeGrand. Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it. EOU men's basketball coach Chris Kemp texted me last night, so this must be he must be pretty excited about this one. He let me know that the Mounties have now signed not only the 4A Player of the Year in Isaiah Jones from Baker, but last night they also signed the Oregon 5A Player of the Year in Cole Hammock out of Wilsonville. Both of them are point guards, and Kemp says that he thinks both will be ready to play as freshmen. Kemp also said that you'll probably see 2 point guards in EOU's backcourt a lot this coming season, with 3 point guards returning. So a total of 5 point guards on this roster next year for the Mounties. EOU softball won 3 out of 4 this weekend versus Bushnell on the road. The Mounties have already secured a spot in the CCC tournament, the national tournament as well. They've won enough games. But they can win the conference and host the conference tournament with 3 wins this weekend versus number 1 Southern. I think they can beat them. Kylie Parsons has to pitch her best games. I mean, Ayla Davies is arguably the best pitcher in the league. Kylie's number 2. She beat Casey Schmidt head-to-head twice. So I'm saying Kylie Parsons, she's undefeated. I mean, she's number 2 in the league. So it's going to be number 1 versus number 2. Kylie's going to have to beat her twice this weekend. And then EOU is going to have to hit the ball. They're going to have to find a way to win that second game, which the last couple weeks we've kind of struggled with. Hopefully Kylie's 100% healthy, because that raises the confidence level of these ladies, and they just play better when Kylie's out there, and healthy. EOU baseball had their final homestand of the season this last weekend versus UBC. The Mounties won 1 out of 4 games and also paid tribute. Benny, slow those down a little bit for me, would you? Slow those pictures down a little bit, please. Thank you. They paid tribute to their seniors. They go to College of Idaho this weekend to close out the year. And yeah, this EOU baseball team, I like where they're headed. No, they haven't won a lot of games. I think they've won 12 games this year. The best season since being back was 16 wins last year. They're not going to match that this year. They're not going to beat C of I 4 times this weekend. It's just not going to happen. But it's headed in the right direction. It's way better than it was 2 years ago. Way better than it was 3 years ago. And I'm excited about it. I think they got a lot of good things on the horizon. LHS baseball swept Ontario last Friday, winning 15-5 and 8-4. They go to Pendleton on this Friday for a GOL doubleheader with the undefeated and league leading Bucks. Those games start at 2 p.m. LHS softball hosted Ontario on Friday. They also paid tribute to their seniors. Benny, slow the pictures down just a little bit, please. Thank you. The girls stayed perfect at 17-0 with 2 16-1 blowouts of their Tigers. their big test, and I really think it is their first test of the season, will be this Friday as they head over to Pendleton to take on it's almost always LeGrand and Pendleton, or you know what I mean? Like outside of basketball, it's okay. The GOL, you know, like I hate to say this, but it's kind of boring. It's LeGrand and Pendleton in every sport except for basketball, and then you can throw Ontario in there in soccer. But as far as like competing, Ontario just isn't competing. Like I don't know what to say. Like they don't compete at any sport really, except for soccer, and it just hurts the GOL because, you know, those 2 wins don't count for anything because Ontario's 3-30 or 3-20. You know, so I don't know how. I guess it's just a lifelong problem for the GOL, and for living in Eastern Oregon and playing at LeGrand is just gonna. I like the old IMC a little bit better when LeGrand was at the highest level in Oregon, was in the IMC with Pendleton, Hermiston, and all 4 of the Central Oregon schools, but that's a lot of travel and that's expensive. And I don't know how, I mean, maybe cut LeGrand in half and make 2 schools or something. I don't know. It's just annoying that you can go to Ontario, beat them twice, not give up any runs, and drop in the rankings. That has happened. Trust me on that. And it's just it's crazy to me. But this Friday, LeGrand Pendleton, this team's 17-0, and this is the toughest team that they're going to see all year on Friday. It's going to be really good games. I'm not going to get to go watch those. I'll probably watch them online, but they are going to host Pendleton here too at the end of the season, and that's going to be the games of the year in the GOL for sure. AM Sports Report brought to you by Hobby Habit, just for the fun of it.
All right. Thank you, man.
Yep.
All right, let's take a look outside. It's pretty this morning.
Yeah, that's
man, look
gorgeous.
at the trees, full bloom there. They're getting after it.
It's springtime.
Yeah. And then let's look at that weather graphic.
Well, how long do them trees take to get leaves on them? Why is it? Did you see them?
The ones in the front are kind of bare. I don't know.
Huh. Interesting.
So 58 today, 58, 31 tonight, and it looks like it's
freezing. It's still dropping down to freezing at night.
Yep.
It's gonna warm up tomorrow and Friday.
So it's funny. I was talking to I have a farmer friend, and was talking to him last night, and we were talking about he had planted some grass seed, but since it hadn't rained, the dirt itself had kind of had a hard crust to it, and so the grass it couldn't get up through it. And
that makes sense.
Yeah. So
what do you do then?
I don't know. I think he has to replant.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, because it starts to come up kind of like an ingrown hair does. You know, come up and then
gets blocked.
Then it curls down and dies. Yeah. So anyhow, just kind of the life of a farmer.
Yeah.
That's something I don't want to do.
No.
Yeah.
No, it sucks.
All right. Well, hey, one of our morning sponsors for the next couple of months is going to be CHD Developmental Disabilities, and we've done a series of videos, and this is a video on being able to recognize vulnerable adults. Take a look at this real quick. So, hey, Chris, thanks for being a part of this conversation. And today's conversation is about vulnerable adults in Union County. Let's start with, first of all, how do we identify them?
So Oregon State statute has identified anyone that is 18 years of age or older that has an intellectual developmental disability, mental illness, or is over the age of 65, or with a physical disability as a vulnerable adult population.
One of the points of this conversation is to help people watch out for each other and to be aware if somebody might be being mistreated in some manner. How do we identify that, and what do we do about it?
Anytime that you see or hear of something that makes you uncomfortable about a population that Center for Human Development works with, intellectual developmental disabilities, mental illness, it's always the right thing to do to place that call. Trained screeners like myself know how to start, know what to look for, and what to go with. So if your gut's telling you that something's not quite right, make that call.
What if I'm afraid of embarrassing somebody, or I don't want to sound the alarm if there's not really a concern? What do you say to people who might be in that situation?
I always say if you're not sure if you should make that call, then you definitely need to make the call. It's always better to be safe than sorry. It could be someone's health and safety at risk.
Tell us, who do we reach out to? What do we do?
So there are two numbers to get a hold of me. The first is the SAFE line, which is the Oregon screening line, and that's 855-503-SAFE. Or you can reach me directly to my desk at 541-962-8889.
Hey, thanks, Chris. And we'll be having more of these conversations.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate CHD sponsoring the morning show and giving us the opportunity to help them with their social media campaign on developmental disabilities and recognizing vulnerable adults and the kinds of things that we can do for that. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be back with Union County Commissioner Matt Scarfo. All right, we're back. Union County Commissioner Matt Scarfo. How are you, man?
I'm well. This is my first time on the new setup.
Yeah, good.
I don't get the back end.
You don't have to do the pivot thing as much.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So
This is nice.
thank you. Yep. How are you doing?
Good. Good.
It's weird for me though because I'm in a different spot on the TV now. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
we
used to-
reversed a
were-
little
Well, that's
bit.
that's the other thing is usually I can see the screen
Yeah.
and see if I'm doing this and I'm like
You need to help Cody with that. Cody's
Yeah.
the
Does
worst.
he always
Dude, he's the
just
worst.
back and forth.
It's like
Yeah.
he's sleeping up here. He's like,
Well, and we thought about putting they call them a confidence monitor like for you, you know.
Oh, they actually have a name.
Yeah, it
Oh.
does. Yeah, but the problem is then sometimes people
Will just stare at that.
They get distracted by that. Yeah, I
So,
mean,
like if I just did
yeah,
this?
they'll just barely be handling it anyhow, you know. And then when they see this, they're like, good, it just freaks them out.
Well, like we were just talking about, I think we're all kind of addicted to screen a little bit.
Right.
Because I'm sitting over there and I'm watching the monitor and I could watch you guys live, but I'm
that's
sitting
true.
there just watching watching the screen and there's that like half a second delay. I'm like, why am I?
Yeah.
I'm like lip reading you guys. It's like,
when we're sitting here like this, I have 4 versions of it in front of me. I got the version that's like 10 seconds behind right here, and then 2 up there, 1 down there.
dude, you see yourself watching them more? Or?
Nah, I
mean, you're doing
see
work.
that one because I'm looking straight at the camera. I don't look at this one hardly at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Thankfully, I was worried about that too because when you're looking down at this one, you look like you're looking at this one.
Mm-hmm.
When you're looking at that one, you look like you're looking at the camera.
See, this one here is like if I had to take a drink of water, I would wait for the camera to pan off me, and then I could skip.
So you can catch it out of the corner of your eye. Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah, and you know if the camera's on you or not for sure. Yep.
No,
Oh shoot, this is a full length. Okay, I gotta be careful about my socks.
That's that camera over there.
All right.
And then your camera's actually right here.
Oh.
And then there's a camera up there in the corner, and then there's 3 of them up right there.
So I gotta, before when I was hidden, I could come in here with a tie on and shorts.
But now you have, you can come in
now
in
it's
your
gonna be seen.
tidy whities if you wanted to back there.
Yeah,
like,
no,
like
I better make sure I.
COVID Zoom meetings.
Yeah, exactly. We still have those where people have their camera off and like, Turn your camera on. Nope, can't do it.
Yeah, it's funny. I mean, when I'm in those meetings, I'm the same way. It's like I want to see people's faces. I want to know if they're engaged or not. You know, so.
Well, that's what we've talked about since then. I mean, yes, it's saved, like especially our travel expenses.
Right.
Instead of having to go to Salem as much, if it's informational, we could just do it via Zoom. Because before COVID, there was I don't know what Zoom was.
Yeah.
None of us. I mean, I've heard about it.
Right.
But now it is, like, it's mandatory for a meeting. You have to have a Zoom option for people that are still on the couch, I guess. But yeah, productivity on those has seriously gone down.
Yeah.
And yeah, because there's times, I mean, I'll be honest, there's times if it's just informational, it's something that, okay, kind of listening in, I'll do emails. I'll multitask.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Yeah.
You can't really multitask if you're sitting in the same room as the person, though.
No,
I mean, it's hard.
no.
I mean, you could, but you'd look like an idiot.
Yeah. No, if I'm running one of those Zoom meetings, I always try to be engaging and catch people off guard. And, hey, Commissioner Bo, how's things in Harney? And there'll also be some stumbling. Yes, can you repeat the question, Commissioner? No, nope, not doing it. Hey, so basketball, we got the top 4A and top 5A?
Yeah.
That doesn't happen.
EOU.
That's fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, the player of the year in both 4A and 5A.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And where are they from?
Baker and Wilsonville.
That's awesome.
Isaiah Jones, who just won a state championship, 2 back-to-back with Baker.
Yeah.
And then Cole, what's his last name? Cole Hammock, I believe, or
Now, and weren't we thinking that
Cole
Isaiah
Hammock.
was going to go somewhere else?
No, that's Rashawn.
Okay, thank you.
Rashawn's going somewhere big.
Yeah.
He's a year younger.
Okay.
Gotcha. And then our last home game for baseball.
Yeah, it was this last weekend.
It's so quick.
Yeah.
When the weather's finally getting nice.
Yep.
That's one thing
it was senior day. It was nice. They won 1 out of 4. They just don't have the pitching that they hit the ball fairly well, but you can't win if you give up 12 runs a game. I mean, nobody's gonna win giving up.
It seems to be always our problem, even before back in my days.
Yeah.
Like we would lose. We lost to LC State that one time, 35-17.
That's crazy. Like there's been some games like that.
It's like we put up 17 runs against LC State. They're number 1.
Doubled up.
Yes. I'm just like, we were going through their pitchers like no man's business.
Yeah.
And to score 17 runs and lose, it was rough. I remember that guy hit a home run in the top of 3rd inning. We went up 10-0. And I'm like, hey, I think we got, because at that time we had never beat them, like ever. They had like 65 games in a row. We hadn't won. And then I was like, we got these guys. And they hit 2 grand slams in 1 inning.
Oh my goodness.
On us. I was in the outfield,
Holy
and I don't know how many wind sprints I was doing.
Yeah, this weekend, for instance, this weekend, okay, we gave up 59 runs in 4 games.
Oh.
And, you know what I mean? And we scored 23. We scored 30.
See, that's scoring 30. That's good offense.
It's a good weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't give up 59 and score 30 and win.
No.
We actually won one of the games 12-11. So you can imagine what the other ones were like. Yeah. 19-3.
But I'm still hopeful.
Yeah, I am too. 100%. Things are on the up and up for sure.
Good.
Yeah, it's exciting.
All right. So tell us what's going on in the commissioner world.
Well,
Give us a fairgrounds update.
Yeah, well, we're halfway through the session. That's just a grueling. So we still have, I don't know, almost May? Yeah, so we got 2 more months of session.
Wow.
I know, but at least it's down to, instead of 4,000 bills, we're down to 1,400. It is long, and been back and forth to Salem a couple times. So on the fairgrounds, it's House Bill 2527. Doing well, it's still alive. It's now in Joint Ways and Means. Last Friday, 2 Fridays ago, Joint Ways and Means was here at EOU.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. the roadshow they do a really good job. I'm really glad they do that. So for those of you who don't understand, instead of having to go to testify in Salem, Salem comes to you. And so they try to rotate areas every other year. 2 years ago, it was down in Malheur County. Then we had kind of COVID. And then, didn't have kind of COVID. We had COVID. And then my first, yeah, kind of, no, there was COVID. Yeah. And then my first year, I remember it was at Blue Mountain Community College. So what happens is Joint Ways and Means, senators and representatives, they kind of have the checkbook, kind of oversee the majority of the bills, the Christmas tree bill.
Yeah,
if you ever,
right.
So that's a lot of capital construction, a lot of fiscally asked projects, anything that has a dollar amount to it, it goes to, and I think there's 20 or so legislators on this Ways and Means. And I don't know when they started the roadshow, but they come out to 5 different areas and they do testimonies in your area. And it's very difficult to hear everybody. They'll never, ever get through everybody. There's usually from 150 to 300 people signed up to testify. And we had the most that testified here at EOU. They were cranking them out. We got 60 people out of, say, 250 got to testify. So you may not think that's a lot. So a lot of people's voices got heard.
You think they were heard, though?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you look at their engagement, they're writing stuff down. They're here to listen, and they do a very, very good job. I try to teach everybody on your testimonies, just try not to sit there and be reading and
Right.
and you need to be, facts, numbers, engaging. You need to be a little bit powerful and quick. Otherwise, they'll start. 2 minutes, you're like, that's not much time. Well, you talk for 2 minutes straight and you're just reading.
Yeah.
Like the old Iowa County Commissioner said, be done speaking by the time I'm done listening.
Right.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I testified and mine was 43 seconds long. Quick, fast, to the point.
What did you testify about?
On House Bill 2527,
Yeah.
the fairgrounds.
So briefly kind of tell us, how did it get to be a House bill? It hasn't been a House bill in the past.
Yeah, it was, 2 years ago it was 2635.
Okay, and
that died.
And that died, and so then you tried some other avenues, and now so I don't know, kind of give me the
Yeah,
progression.
so we've always put it as a capital construction project.
Okay.
And that's one avenue, and so that's just an ask.
Right.
That's just hey, we need some funding for a project.
Right.
And forms you got to fill out. You have to be sponsored by a representative or senator, and I'm sorry, it's turned in by a representative or a senator. And there's billions of dollars worth of asks. And so hopefully you don't get lost in the shuffle in there.
Right.
And we brought it up as a House bill 2 years ago, 2635, I think. And never got a work session, never got a hearing, and so that died. But we were still as a capital construction project.
Okay.
So I like to just do as many ways as I possibly can. And I know some of the senators were telling me last time, don't do it as a House bill. We don't, just put it as capital construction. All right, well, I don't listen well. And so I said, I want every avenue I possibly can get. And having a House bill gives you advertising.
Right.
So it goes in front of senators and representatives that may have not, a lot of them are new this year from our last election. And so a lot of them had never heard of I've heard of the project out here. And so now that I had a hearing and a work session, now it's in capital construction. Now I want to go as far as it possibly can. Will we get the funding that way? Probably not. It'll probably be more like capital construction, but it's great advertising.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's going to hear about 2527. And I want to thank everybody out there that testified. It wasn't just people from Union County. We had Umatilla County, Jefferson County, Morrow County. We had a lot of people testifying for House Bill 2527, which is a little bit unheard of in this realm, because people are fighting for a project that's not in their county.
Yeah. Yeah.
You never.
Why?
Well, a lot of people
Is
feel
it other commissioners?
Yeah, other commissioners.
I'd be pissed if my commissioner was fighting for somebody else.
We have 9 representatives that have signed on to this bill.
What I mean, is
Because
it just
they
you
feel
the heck out of them?
Yeah, and a lot of them are like, let's just shut Matt up. You know, he's been doing this for so long. But a lot of them are like, when I go to the Capitol and I'm making my rounds, number one thing, Matt, I thought this was already funded.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Oh, so they're like,
And so they're like, how? And then the second thing is, how has this not been funded?
right.
So
Because
they're
it's
knowing it's so important, and they're like, if this was in my county, if this was in my district, this is ridiculous that this has not been funded yet. And so that's why we're getting a lot of support from other counties, other districts, and so you're absolutely correct.
Sense. Yeah.
But right now, I've been telling the Ways and Means and senators and reps, it's like, who is going to say, my pickleball courts weren't funded, but you gave money to the fairgrounds in Union County? No one's going to say that.
Nobody. Yeah, no.
No, but if I want to talk to that person.
Yeah, you didn't put us in pickleball courts, but you let them have the bathrooms at their fairgrounds?
Yeah, and potable water.
Yeah. Or we ponied up a bunch of money for a sports team in Portland.
Yeah.
But we still haven't funded the fairgrounds. Yeah.
Yeah, I followed that a little bit. I could see the return on investment on that one.
Right. Yeah.
So there are, I always talk about the wants and needs, and that's what capital construction Ways and Means are, in my opinion. Wants over needs.
Right.
And I tell the senators, I say, hey, one day I may be coming, testify in front of you for a want, but right now we have a need.
Yeah.
And last year during the short session, we don't have much money, we don't whatever, and I saw a third of the list were wants.
Yeah.
Third of the list. And there were some needs. I was like, okay, I know that one. I know that project. I keep track of monies that are going around our state. And some of them I'm like, understandable. And then there's some where I'm just, what kind of favor was given on this one?
Yeah.
What deal was made on that one?
Oh, yeah.
What, who needs to get reelected in this one?
Unfortunately, that's the way it works.
Oh, yeah, no. All those levels going up.
It's crazy.
Even the federal. I mean, look at all the federal stuff going on right now. Who's scratching who's back?
Right.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's perfect, but right now I'm a little frustrated that we have not been funded.
Yeah.
But
you feel better about it this time?
So.
Yeah, well, with the House bill going as far as it is and having so much support.
Yeah.
Shoot, I had Senator David Brock Smith on the floor. We were on the Senate floor last Monday. He gave a shout out to and he's not supposed to. It was nice. I got to post these on my social media, all the testimonies and that everyone has said nice things about the fairgrounds, and because a lot of people don't see that no one watches the testimony on all this, and it's kind of our world to do that.
Yeah.
And I should probably start sharing more of that on social media.
Once the funding is in place, then how long will that take for that to be completed, that project? Any guess?
Yeah, Tim Topliff, the fairgrounds president right now, we just passed the deadline to get it done for fair this year.
Okay.
So we're looking literally months. I think they said the deadline was April 19th. If we would have started on April 19th, this project would have been completed before fair.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So 4 or 5 months. So if we do get the funding, gavel drops in June, we could, depending on weather, we may be able to get done before snow falls.
Huh.
But we're tunneling under the Grand Ronde River.
Right.
I can't wait to see that.
I wonder how far you have to go down. Before, you know what I mean? Like
there's a guy. There's a guy that does
sure
this.
There is a guy.
Yeah, so there's a guy, and so
I doubt he does it in a machine himself. He uses a roto rooter, bro.
Yeah, if I tug the rope, pull me out. Yeah, no. No, but I'm excited to, the fact that there's a guy that let me know, I'll come out and we'll go under the Grand Ronde River.
How interesting is that?
I'm sorry?
I said,
when
how
they dig a
interesting
well.
is that?
Yeah, no.
They dig vertical wells sometimes. Sometimes they dig straight down for a well and then that way too.
Man,
depending upon what's going on up here.
But
I bet, yeah.
But
Probably
the
very
big
similar.
cost is the pump station. Is that right? I mean, that's one of the big cost of the whole
I
thing?
think they're all pretty.
I was going to say, drilling underneath a river
I think
probably costs a little bit of money.
That's probably going to be. The guy's just like, I just do this for fun.
$13 an hour.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, there's some stuff I put together from my garage, and I'm able to.
Yeah, I'm sure the machine, I don't know if it's a sleeve machine. I don't know.
I wonder how big of a
pipe?
Well, I
do
think we're gonna definitely.
10 inches?
I think at least 6 inches, because we want to put something in that that could probably help out that side of our county, like for future development.
Right.
Why put something in that only, okay, this is good for the fairgrounds, nothing else. We always got to look in the future.
Right.
So why not go bigger the
Right.
first time, and then so we don't have to be like, okay, now we got to do another one.
Yeah.
So I think at least six inches. I'm not.
And is this? But it's both sewer and water.
So
There's-
water
the
is
water's
already
already
over.
there.
Water's already there,
Okay.
and that was put in. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But it's the sewer going back. So when people are like, "Oh, we don't have water at all at our fairgrounds," no, we do. We do have 2 wells. They're not, one's on its last limb, and the other one's for like irrigation and that. But when you have nowhere for that water to drain,
Right.
then you got standing water. I mean, if you've been out there during the fair and they're watering the livestock and the things, and there's just standing water because we have no drain. We have no sewer drain.
Yeah.
It goes nowhere.
It's called horizontal directional drilling.
Oh, I remember.
And that's what they'll do to.
So it just takes a
yeah, you
takes
just
a
go
ride at
straight
Albuquerque.
down and boom.
Huh.
So maybe
I'm sure they do that for oil and stuff too.
yeah,
I got nothing left. Let's go right.
that's true. Yeah, it says common method used for large rivers and sensitive areas. All underground tunneling and pulling the pipe through.
So you think it's gonna be, and then
I do.
instead of just doing a,
I don't think I don't think they shoot it at, because maybe gravitational. I don't know how it would work, but the video that is on here right now, they're pretty much straight down and then across.
hey, this may be a good when they do it.
Yeah.
We go out and interview
Go
the
out
guy.
there,
I'm going to be like, hey, you call me because I want to see this, and I want to understand how this happens, and I kind of want to be on the other side when it pops up.
Yeah.
It also says sewer pipes under rivers are notorious for accident. You know what I mean? Like, obviously,
Leaking.
if that thing leaks
Yeah.
or cracks, you're
Yeah.
gonna have turds in your river.
Oh shoot, I hope not.
Yeah, no, that
Well,
would be good.
the other well, if we did it over the overpass, that was our other fear, or safety, just putting it on
Over
there.
it?
Well, it's supposed to go over the overpass, like over 84 in the
Right.
Grand Ron River.
Yeah.
But the safety of putting it up, just not good. And freezing in the wintertime, could you imagine, like going, it's 20 degrees and just water coming down on 84 right there and just, or
So you're going
poop
so
and
it's going under. It's going under the freeway too. Then.
we already found a way to get under the freeway.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been working with ODOT on that one. We found a spot, and we just need to get under the Grand Ron.
Okay.
But once again, you don't want the frozen pipes burst and going into the Grand Ron River either.
Right.
That's not going to be.
No. It's not.
That's not going to be good.
All right. Well, hey, let's switch topics. So, talk to me about re-election, and let's go back to, I don't know, kind of just lay some foundation. What what was passed in the public passed a few years ago, and I don't know, kind of give me an overview and where you're at on that.
The term limits. Well, I definitely would like another term, mostly due because of COVID.
Right.
COVID stole my first term.
Yeah.
I had 1 year, drinking from the hose, and then next 3 years was COVID. Then finally got out of it, and so I'm almost looking at this as like it's my first term, because literally that's all I did. My first term was COVID.
Because public health was under
Me.
Yeah,
Yes.
was under your responsibility. Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, Kerry Brigiotti, remember?
Right.
Oh boy, we
had lots of conversations.
the one person that I never thought I'd be talking with much. Oh,
Yeah.
I was on the phone with her
Yeah.
every day,
Yeah.
twice a day. Yeah, numbers and how's oh my gosh, that was horrible.
Well, do you remember when term limits, when you were not a commissioner, when that came through, and how did you feel about it then as a citizen?
I wasn't in politics as much. I remember when that happened, there was a lot of talk about the federal level.
Right.
About term limits. That was the buzzwords at the time.
Right.
And when it happened here, I was kind of, I'm like, I did not understood what a commissioner did.
Right.
And then now being in that role, longevity in this position is very, very helpful.
Helpful for
Just relationships.
right. No, and
100%. And I talked to a lot of the commissioners because I think there's only 4 counties that actually have term limits. There's not too many of them. And when a lot of my other commissioners are telling me, they're like, that is crazy. How do you guys have term limits? I'm like, it was voted in. And I'm like, man, you guys got to get rid of that. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And blah, blah. I was like, well, I could understand it on certain levels. I mean, look at our president. We've had some presidents that go more than 2 terms, but it was during wartime. And what did Eisenhower go? 11 years?
I don't. Well,
It was
Roosevelt.
Oh, Roosevelt.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
it's only consecutive, like for the president, right? You can only serve 2 terms.
Yeah, I think it's only.
consecutively, but then you can come back.
I don't
Well,
think so.
they during wartime, I think it was during World War II, they had Roosevelt doing a couple extra years.
Well, yeah, right. He's.
So with that being said, never say never. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
You never know if there's going to be a COVID. You never know if there's something else is going to happen. You never know, and then 2 terms. That is in this world, that's nothing.
So help people understand the benefit to Union County of having a commissioner that serves longer than 2 terms from the committees that you serve on, and so. I mean,
Yes,
because that's something that I don't think people understood when they voted for term limits.
So when I got in and we did our liaisons,
Yeah.
Commissioner Anders, I've said this before, he's really good at natural resources, and Commissioner Beveridge, she already had 2 years in. So they already I knew what liaisons they're going to have, so I kind of just took everything else. Mm-hmm. Did I know about mental health, behavioral health, or CHD, or, law enforcement, district attorneys, juvenile, probation? No, nothing. So I had to learn all of that, still learning. I'm not going to say I'm a master. I'm a lot better than I was. But the first couple of years, no, I mean, like I said, COVID didn't help at all, me
Right.
learning from Zoom calls and all that. But now I could have a conversation with CHD. I can pick up the phone and, hey, where are we at here? Before, no idea. I get out and someone else is going to have to learn all that unless we get somebody specifically that knows that liaison stuff. And who knows who's going to get what. Every year we go back to the liaison list and we move around. The economic side of, I'm a business guy in economics. I'm really good at that. But now Commissioner Sievert has that, kind of Donna had it, because I couldn't all of a sudden just put CHD, behavioral health, mental health, everything on him. And now he's got to learn all that when I know it.
Right.
And Carrie and Barb at CHD, they're going to be like, I have to now teach Jake
Right.
when you're sitting over here knowing what we just did yesterday.
Right.
And now Jake's got to learn.
Yeah,
it's going to take him 2-3 years to figure out what's going on. And so my liaisons are my liaisons now.
Right.
There's no way I could give up community connection. There's no way I give up CHD. I'm so deep into everything now that how can I give it up?
Yeah. And then there are also committees that you guys serve on at the state level. So the state influence that longevity gives you, talk about that for a minute.
So I will say right now, like every other year, we have session. So right now, very, very important. We have to be in Salem. We have to be making our relationships, our contacts. I don't even know how many cell phone numbers I have. I text senators, representatives. I have the governor's cell phone in there. Do I use it? No, not too often. Wouldn't know what to say actually, but we haven't seen her. I haven't seen her in I don't know how long. But those relationships you make are very, very important. Like they'll be on the floor, and I will be texting. I texted Senator Bottom. He had a really good testimony the other day, and I'm like, man, you're the man. He texted me right back. Thank you very much. Hey, by the way, I need your help on so and so and so and so. Those are the relationships that get stuff done.
Right.
A lot of people, they're not even going to remember your name until your second term.
Right.
So here in Union County, all right, so we have term limits. By the time it's your second term, they now are going to remember your name. It's like, okay, I got 4 years
Okay.
to get something done.
So
That's not that much time.
Yeah. So the last time I was it's been a couple of months since I've been at a commissioner meeting, but the last time I was there, Union County had their attorney kind of look into the legality of the whole thing. Has he come back with an opinion, or where's that at?
I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
No, but down in Douglas County, that kind of the same thing happened, and they found it unconstitutional.
Yeah, and do you recall? Can you summarize why they found it unconstitutional?
Oh boy, that's lawyer jargon.
Right.
I won't say I'm not getting any better at that.
And it's funny is because I sent an email to Baum, and he sent me back this 2-page thing of lawyerese, and it's like, okay, that didn't help at all.
No.
Yeah, but anyhow.
So the thing is, we've talked about this on the show before. I really wish things that go on the ballot were vetted prior than going on the ballot. It causes so much problems and money when they're voted through. Like a couple years back when I was on the show, the West Side voted just all kind of crazy bills through.
Right.
And then it costs millions and millions of dollars to go through the courts afterwards.
Right.
It's like, do that prior.
Right.
You know, Oregon's kind of like the guinea pig because we'll put anything on the ballot and see if it sticks to the wall. Well, that's when you get all the stuff that, is it constitutional? Well, find out before it even gets on the ballot.
Right.
Quit wasting everyone's time.
Well, and it's the unintended consequences. It's like things pass, and there's no state structure in order to even manage what just passed.
Yeah.
You know?
I guess my question would be like the unconstitutional argument.
Yeah.
Our president has a 2-term limit. How is that not unconstitutional?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand. Like, what's the argument there? Like, what's unconstitutional about it? It was voted for by the people, and regardless of anybody's opinion on it, because I don't care either way. I
really wish I could have brought. I'll bring that Douglas County in a couple months.
Yeah.
And we could just read that and find out what the
because
the
I
take
wonder
on it
what
is.
the difference is. Because I mean, isn't there a term limit for presidents?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I think that's the only thing that has a term limit.
I don't know enough. I can't.
Yeah, I could. There may be some other.
I don't know nothing.
You know,
about
Supreme Court.
politics.
No, there's no term limits in Supreme Court. There's no term limits in the
I
Congress.
wonder
There's no term limits.
How?
Yeah. There certainly needs to be some term limits in Congress sometimes. That would really
Yeah,
help.
well, the thing is, that's where all the frustration begins. It's like, oh, so-and-so's been in there for 50 years, time to get them out. Well, the thing is they live in a district that is either so red or so blue that they'll never, ever get out.
Right.
And that's the game. It's like, hey, I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to be a career politician.
Yeah.
And I believe what makes our country the freest country is the fact that we get to vote.
Yeah.
And so we vote, and so we'll see what our court says, if it's deemed unconstitutional or not. Like I said, I still have a lot of work that I want to finish.
Yeah.
Respite Detox Center would like to see. We're working on that right now. This opioid funds.
So talk to us about that. What's going on?
So since the state got rid of the mental health, behavioral health facilities, that's kind of like up to the counties now. As you know, that opioid drugs and we have issues here in our county and everywhere that these.
Not just opiate drugs.
No, shoot.
But
I'm referring it to because we're using it as the opiate funds that were coming in. But yeah, you're correct. So what's happening is our law enforcement, we have people that are possibly on drugs, possibly a little unstable, and they're getting arrested, and they're going in our jails. Yeah. Is that the right place for them?
No.
Probably not. They're either going to our jails or they're going to our hospitals. So they're filling up and we need our hospitals to save our lives. And so the hospitals are getting filled with these people that need special care. And that's what these respite detox centers do. So it's the best place for them in jail? Probably not. It's the best place for them in the
if
hospital.
they're a criminal, yes. But
yeah, are they doing criminal deeds because they are on drugs, or is it because of the mental health? You can't tell because some of it kind of overlaps.
Yep.
And boy, look at this. 7 years ago, there's no way I could talk this way about about this. This was not even. I never studied for it. But look at the
right.
Now I'm actually sounding somewhat intelligent speaking about this. So anyway, we were looking at Baker's got a small facility, Umatill's got a small facility. So we're looking at getting something here. Maybe it won't be here. Maybe we would like to see Baker grow a little bit, and then we'll be able to transport some of our people in our county to Baker for that help. But either way, we need more beds. We need more care for these individuals, and it will take the burden off our jail and burden off our hospital.
Yeah, that place in Baker, New Horizons, they take a lot of people from out of Baker and Union County.
I know.
90% of their people are from outside of Baker and
So
Union
that's the thing with the funding, where you get the funding from. Wasco County is trying to do the same thing, and if you get certain funding from state, then
Right.
it almost becomes a state facility, and next thing you know, you're getting people from Multnomah County, Washington County over there in Portland, and they're bringing them into your county.
Yeah, that's happening in Baker.
Yes, in my opinion, we have enough problem here. We do not need other counties' problems. Though, yes, I'd sure like to help everybody, but I'd like to have a facility where, I hate to be selfish with this, but let's help. I don't have to turn people from Union County away if we get this facility, because we are filled with other people from across the state
Right.
that don't have this facility.
Right. But on the other hand, to build a facility from scratch is an enormous task, whereas if we could help fund like Baker City expanding their facility, that would make sense.
Correct.
I mean,
So
is that kind of the thought?
So right now we have a couple locations we're looking at. From going from scratch, it'll be $15 million.
Okay.
And I do believe that getting the $15 million would probably be easier than getting the $2.5 million for the fairgrounds.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah. Well,
It's a hot topic.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
the fairgrounds ain't saving people's lives.
that is correct. So
I hate to be.
That's the thing is that's another need, and I know the governor has put $90 million aside for these centers.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. Where we need to start looking back at. I don't remember. I don't know if I was even here when they started getting rid of the state. What were they called? The state facilities, the hospital,
like
state hospital.
Fairview and
Yeah, when did they? And didn't Pendleton have one? And
the one in Salem closed in 2001, I want to say. Fairview.
oh, okay.
Fairview closed in 2001, and then so there was just this flood of people with developmental disabilities in the Salem area that didn't have funding or a place to go. And
Yeah. So now they're like, oh, maybe that wasn't the best idea. And now $90 million is going back in to more of these areas across our state.
I wonder if people could. So what happened after that? That was developmental disabilities more than mental health, although they kind of go hand in hand because of the way Oregon looks at it. A lot of people with mental health issues were getting developmental disability money because a lot of times they're so out of there that their IQ drops below 70. So you end up qualifying for funding through developmental disabilities, even though you don't really have a developmental disability. I wonder if because in Oregon they call it like the group home boom when all these places closed because the money was in opening group homes. I wonder if in Oregon you could do that with with drug treatment places, like privatize it, like let people and try to get people investing money in, like, hey, you can create jobs and make a little bit of money and treat these people.
See, that's a good segue. So the problem we're having is we're having a tough time finding people to run these facilities.
Yeah, because it's a major task.
You mean the caliber of people? Is that what?
No, just people in general.
Period, yeah.
So there's a lot that aren't making it. Like I know Wasco County, they were ping-ponging back and forth with the funding because they couldn't find anybody just to run the facility. Yeah. They had the millions of dollars to create the facility, have the thing, and then it's like, okay, who's going to Who's running it?
Got it.
Yeah.
And there was like, we couldn't find anybody.
Bud says, how many jobs would be created with a facility? Good jobs for the county. Who knows? I mean, it depends on the Baker House, well, Northwest, whatever that is over there, New Horizons. They employ quite a few people.
Oh, no.
I know quite a few people that work there.
The thing is I don't think we're lacking jobs here in our community. We
need workers, bro.
That's our, like, I hear that, rumors, Amazon's coming and hey, we're bringing 100 jobs. It's like, wrong.
Who's going to do it?
Who's going to do it?
Who's going to work?
Because we probably have 500 to 600 positions open here in Union County already.
Yeah.
What we need is people to get back to work, or people to move in to start working.
Yeah, but there has to be, I hate to say it, there has to be an incentive to go back to work. If people are going to get money for free and taken care of, they ain't going to go to work. Why the hell would you work if you could just
sit on the couch?
By? Yeah, like nobody's going to.
So that back to, boy, it's that, we always, it always goes back to employment. And
So Amazon's coming?
I don't know. There's that rumor out there. I hear all this. I hear we're going to get an Arby's.
Oh, really?
Where is it?
We have an Arby's.
Don't you remember that was the years? And, we're going to get an Arby's. We're going to get an Arby's.
I mean, that just basically, him saying that hammered down. That to me, that means Amazon's coming.
All right, what's the rumors that we always hear?
It's the rumors, yeah.
It's the rumors. 100 jobs. You hear all that stuff. I heard Penel's getting a Chipotle.
Hey, that's the politician way of saying.
Well, it's funny.
It's a rumor.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I've heard that rumor for a while. I've heard that rumor for a while.
Everybody's heard the rumor.
Yeah, but they told me but don't say anything until you hear it from somebody else.
Yeah, as soon as you hear it from somebody else, you can it's a rumor.
If you take a drive out there, who else has 80 trucks and dump trucks and things? I'm just like, and put stuff together that quick.
Yeah.
I was like, was it a Jack in the Box?
Yeah, no.
Maybe it's not Amazon. Maybe it's Facebook. I don't know who it is. It's somebody that's doing some stuff out there.
Well, and I've heard that companies like Amazon, there could be 40 trucks in the lot and they still haven't publicly announced that it really is an Amazon,
I don't know how the
but it's
legality
like,
stuff.
When Christine Jarsky was the economic development director, and the pet store was going in at the mall, they were putting the sign up, but because of the non-disclosure agreement that she had signed, she's like, okay, you can read the sign, but I really can't tell you what that sign says because I'm under a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, yeah, they all have I could see, Timothy Bishop has to do the same thing.
Yeah, of course,
I could see where it's like, hey, there's a deal going on. You can't, if things leak, then, something go awry or askew, and you don't want to be in a lawsuit.
Yeah, but when you're moving, 10,000 yards of dirt, I don't know what that is.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Nothing's going on out there. Nothing's going on out there. I don't know. Yeah, like I said.
I thought it looked better if it was flat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but the point is we're still having troubles finding people to fill the jobs that we have.
Correct. And so, great, we get
all facets of work.
From hospital to dishwashers. So if this is true and there's 100 new positions going on Amazon, are people going to get off the couch and be like, I'm going to go take that job? Or are people going to be like, I'm leaving the trailer factory. I'm going to leave Boise Cascade. Are they just going to steal employees from these other locations?
Yeah. I think that's
who's got the best? Am I going to get paid more? And who's got the best benefits? And then now we're going to be even in worse trouble.
Yeah. Why would I go grind 50 hours a week at the trailer factory and lose my bonus if I miss a day because I'm sick, when I can go work at Amazon and make right around the same amount of money and get treated better?
Yeah.
I hate to say it like that, but
I don't know. But so I remember back in the day, you'd hear like Tri-Cities opening up 500 new jobs, and people here would be like, we're moving. And people used to get up to move when jobs were available. I don't see that anymore. It's like, I just hear there's a whole bunch of jobs happening in Union County. Let's move to Union County.
No,
nobody's moving. Well, there's plenty of jobs in every other county.
Right. Yeah. But the thing that is unique for us is you sit in the valley, just look around. Tri-Cities doesn't have what we have.
Oh, no.
And
Yeah, but Tri-Cities has things we don't have.
Yeah, of
you know
course.
what I mean. So it's
But-
like every place has that.
Right.
You know
That thing.
what that thing. Yeah. Like so. I mean, it's like we're gonna be. I think LeGrand's always gonna be in that constant. You know, what is it? A hamster wheel.
No.
Yeah. You know where you're just like trying to get people to come here to fill jobs and to stimulate the economy, but at the same time we can't. You can see it in sports really well. The best athletes from the high school this coming year aren't staying here to go to EOU. They're leaving. You know what I mean? And so it's like, it's just. I think that's just how it is, man. I don't know how to change it. And
Man, we're not. I mean, we're not growing.
Yeah.
no, haven't grown in 75 years.
No.
Okay. Anything else you want to mention to us before we quit?
I'm sure I got a lot, but
Yeah.
I don't know what time it is. Oh shoot, it's 9 o'clock. I got 9:30. So.
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Thank you guys.
Yeah. Hey, thank you, man. Always the conversation when you're on the set is just goes.
Yeah, time flies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for making the time for us this morning.
Of course.
Yeah, appreciate it. Want to get us out of here?
On this day, April 22nd, it's kind of a boring day in history. 1838, English steamship Sirius docks in New York City after crossing the Atlantic, and it's the first transatlantic steam passenger service. 1884, on this day, Thomas Stevens leaves San Francisco on the first bike trip around the world. How do you get across the ocean on a
Well,
bike?
you still gotta get on a ship or
Yeah,
something.
2 years and 9 months is how long it took him. 1914, on this day, Babe Ruth's first professional game, and in this game he was a pitcher only. It's a 6-hit, 6-0 win for Babe Ruth. 1991. Oh, something else happened on this day. I just remembered this thinking Babe Ruth. 1915 on April 22nd. 1915, I believe. Yeah, 1915. The Yankees wore pinstripes for the first time ever. 1915 on this day. That just popped into my head. Check that out.
Wait.
Fact check me.
Wait. Were they the first pinstripes ever, or was there another
No,
team?
I think it was the Yankees' first time wearing pinstripes.
Okay, so pinstripes were a thing prior.
I think so.
I want to know who invented the pinstripes.
I don't know.
Okay.
1991 on this day. Johnny Carson announces he'll retire next year from The Tonight Show. The number one song on this day in America, 2005, Candy Shop by 50 Cent. And then the quote of the day comes from Napoleon Bonaparte. Courage isn't having the strength to go on, it is going on when you don't have strength. One more time. Courage isn't having the strength to go on, it's going on when you don't have strength. Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was April 22nd, 1915 was the first time they ever sported pinstripes.
Huh.
I mean, I could be wrong, but it was something to talk about if I was.
It's a rumor.
Yeah, it's a rumor. A politician. Just put it,
That may be true. I don't know.
Who knows? Like, he may or may not have done it. Who knows?
All right. Well, hey, thank you, Matt.
You bet.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, guys. So on Thursday, Mark Browning,
BMCC.
president of BMCC, will be right here with us again.
Cool.
And so don't miss that. We'll see you
All right.
soon.